Hello, we're live. We're live. Good to be back on Hobby Live. I'm Jimmy L, and we're now gonna talk about how Luna has really buggered the crypto markets. Before we do anything, obviously, give me a quick follow on Twitter. Crypto's Lao Wai. My tweets are mostly in Chinese, but you can use the magic translate button and get quite a good translation out of that. So I've been doing quite well lately, gaining 10K followers in 2 months, thanks to you guys. So let's get right into it. Let's have a look at the Huobi Global. Okay, yeah, that's us. We'll give that a retweet. Wait. Okay, give it a retweet. Say, join me live. So how is everyone doing? I hope all of you are okay, and I really hope nobody has been hurt by the Luna fiasco. Okay, those are retweets. So yeah, let's get some followers in here. Yeah, we've started. So 1.9K watching, very good. Okay, so let's get right into it. So we have a long-term chart here. And this chart is from Bitstamp, one of the older exchanges dating back to 2011, 2012. And we can see lots of history here. It's basically since 2012. And we've seen this weekly trend that kind of curves upwards and plateaus out. So right here, we're seeing the price bounce around, right? And the reason why this is not a straight line is because growth is not linear. It's mostly exponential. And once it goes exponential, if you look at it on a log chart, it plateaus out a bit. So when you're looking at a chart like this, every cycle is totally different. Every cycle is different. Let's talk about the cycles first. So why are we talking about the cycles right now? Maybe you're more interested in knowing, are we going to go up now or going to go down now? But actually, if you want to win in this game, you have to care about the long term. Okay, you have to care about the long term, not just the short term. The short term can be important if you're trading altcoins, if you're trading futures of Ethereum and Bitcoin. But if you know what the long term is doing, if you know what Bitcoin is doing in the span of 5 to 10 years, then you can strategize, right? You can strategize by allocating capital at the right time. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to analyze what the markets have been doing in the past 10 years. So that's long term. 10 years is long term. Hello. So the first cycle we've seen is basically from January 2012 to November 2013. So that's roughly almost 2 years. And you can see that the growth is super fast. It's super steep. On this chart, it looks super steep. So the percentage growth is huge. Although the dollar growth, the linear dollar growth, isn't as big as this bull run. This bull run, we've seen it grow from 10,000 to 60,000, right? That's almost 10,000 to 69,000. So since we broke out, that was $59,000 of growth. but it doesn't look as dramatic as here because we're looking at the logarithmic chart. So what the log chart does is it scales everything out. It makes percentage growth look the same. So from $14 to $24, that's doubling, right? That's the price doubling. And the distance on the chart, the size of the candles, the length of the growth is the same as it growing from 14,000 to 24,000. So $14 growing to $24 is the same as 14,000 growing to 24,000. It's just we've multiplied the price by 10,000, right? By 1,000, sorry. So what we're seeing here is the logarithmic chart is a very good way to put things into perspective. Because if you look at the linear chart, I'll show you guys what the linear chart looks like. It looks like this. It doesn't make any sense, right? The previous cycles just look totally flat, and this cycle looks huge. So that's why we want to look at the logarithmic chart, because it puts things into perspective. And one other thing I would like to mention is not a single cycle is the same. All of them are different. So the previous cycle, we've seen a continuous drawdown in an almost linear fashion, right? It's a parallel channel. And the next bear market was totally different. It was a triangle, right? It was down and up and then down, and then we break through. And then the previous one, the previous bear market, which was from maybe $12 dropping down all the way to like $2. That's nuts, right? Imagine that kind of percentage drawdown is like seeing Bitcoin drop from $12,000 to $2,000. But you know, like if you've invested a lot of money in Bitcoin at $12 and it drops to $2, well, that's crazy, right? You'll just think it back then it was a bit like trading shit coins today, right? And here the correction before the major pump was also in a triangle, but obviously this is more spiky and much more volatile. So back in the day, it was more volatile because there was less money, there was less liquidity, there were more coins to go around, and the crypto markets were just very small. So any significant amount of money would pump the prices up, and you can really see the growth factor, right? The percentage growth factor back then was much greater than, say, now, right? Let's have a look how many percent. Price range from the previous, from 2012, from the breakout to the top is roughly 9,000%. What does that mean? That means the price went up 94 times, 9,452. Price went up 94 times. Let's see the next bull market, which let's give it a definition of what is a bull market? Breaking the previous bull market high. Let's start from there. Use that as a standard, right? Because we have to have all of it standardized to compare and contrast. So that would be from $1,000 to $20,000. That's the 2017 high. Yeah. So $1,000 to $20,000. Actually, it's just a bit more than $1,000. So that's roughly 1,690%. So that's basically 17 times up. So this is, let's just mark all of this. This is 94x this is 17x. What is this? So our previous high was 19,000. Was 19,000, and above that to the top is 2.4. Okay, so 2.4x. What does this mean? This means that Bitcoin's growth factor is slowing. Bitcoin's growth factor is slowing, and it is shown by this chart. You see how it curves, kind of plateaus out. It doesn't mean Bitcoin won't go up a lot. It will go up tremendous amounts. It's just that we're at much higher prices now, and we're at much higher levels of adoption. And especially since last cycle, we've seen lots of institutions buying in. So now a lot of Wall Street trading firms trade Bitcoin. And what that does to Bitcoin is it makes Bitcoin correlated to tech stocks mainly. So if you look at tech stocks in the American stock markets, you'll realize that Bitcoin really follows tech stocks a lot. So that's the main reason. And it shows that for these institutions to get in, there must be a lot of liquidity, there must be a lot of money trading these coins. So that means the growth factor is dramatically slowed down. So the next pump from 69,000 maybe to the top, the next top may be around 150k or even 200k. It really depends on how you draw this line. But the next growth would from 69k. Sorry, I need a sip of my tea. The next growth from 69k all the way to possibly 148k is 1.25x. Okay, 1.25x. Okay, it really depends on how you view the x. 240% is essentially 3.4x. Sorry. So this is the growth. Okay, so let me edit that. 18. 3.4. 2.4. 2.25. 2.25x. And this is 95. So we're seeing the growth slow down a lot. What does that mean for the crypto markets? It means a lot more legitimacy. That's good. But the real growth is maybe less so in Bitcoin, maybe more so in Ethereum. So that's why I'm much more bullish Ethereum long term. But Bitcoin is becoming more of a store of value. If it bounces around here, if it just stays like in the 150k to like 50k range for a long time in the future, maybe to like 2030, I think then Bitcoin is really the digital gold standard, right? So what does the next cycle bring? The next cycle will bring a 2.2x gain from the top of the previous cycle. But if you buy at the bottom, what will that give us? If you buy at the bottom, you'll get a 15x gain. So obviously you would want to allocate capital at the bottom of the market. So how do we know when is the bottom? Well, typically bear market bottoms in Bitcoin correlate with the break-even price of Bitcoin miners. So what does that mean? Some Bitcoin miners are very efficient. You give them electricity, they can mine coins at a great profit. Some Bitcoin miners are less efficient, but we're talking about the most efficient Bitcoin miners. At what price do they go out of business? At what price of Bitcoin does mining Bitcoin not be economically viable? Okay, so I looked at a chart, and it seems as though the Antminer S19XP shuts down at $9,500. So I drew a line over here which correlates with the previous triangle, and that gives me a price reference point of $9,000. It is also possible, if we have a black swan event, to drop to the 6K range, and that would be this trend line over here, and that would be the 6K range. That's also possible if we get a March the 12th type event. But in my opinion, if we see Bitcoin under 10K, you just buy. It doesn't matter. You just buy. Obviously, in such an event, try to stay off leverage, because leverage will kill you on the downtrend. In my opinion, we'll see a lot of liquidations on the downtrend, not just in futures markets. Also in we have a lot of funds that are leveraged, meaning they borrow money from other LPs, they borrow money from banks, investment banks, and they pour this money into Bitcoin. So they are leveraged up. If Bitcoin drops to a certain price, they will have to sell their Bitcoin to return the money to their investors, to their banks. So that's another form of leverage, and that's actually a large part of it. So I think we've seen the Luna fiasco in the past week, and now I think everyone should realize nothing is too big to fail, guys. Nothing is too big to fail. We've seen this, the Titanic, right? Titanic, the designer of the Titanic believed that the ship was too big to sink. Nothing is too big to fail. It sank, right? And Luna, being a top 10 cryptocurrency, super legitimate on all the big exchanges, just evaporated $50 billion in, what was it, 1 week, right? In just 3 days. In 3 days, it went to zero. It went from being worth like $70 to zero. How can that happen? Well, this is the land of crypto. This is the Wild West. Everything's risky, right? Everything is risky. So we have to always be careful. We have to be careful. Always have a safety net in your investments. Okay, so let's have a look at some closer price action, right? We predicted the top at 48K. I believe most of you were with me then. At 48K on a Huobi Live episode, I believe it was our first or second episode. It dropped from 48K all the way down to like 40K, right? That was a good day for the bears. We shorted Ethereum at 3,400, and we held that short all the way down to 1,700. So Bitcoin dropped as expected to 26K, 27K, bounced momentarily, and now I think we'll see what we call a trader's market. So a trader's market is when price action is very choppy. It suits traders a lot, but not investors. Investors want the price to go up. But if you're a trader, it's a good time to buy high and sorry, buy low and sell high, not buy high and sell low, guys. Yeah, so here around here, 22k, 23k to 27k, in my opinion, is a great time to buy in the next 2 months. Should we buy in now? In my opinion, we're close to a local top. We may see another dip tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe next week. Maybe we'll see another dip next week from around 32k, 31 or 32k, back down to 27k. So that's my midterm projection. And I think we'll have a bullish autumn. We'll have an alt season this autumn. I bet a lot of you are happy about that. Definitely alt season, let's go. So what should we buy this autumn? In my opinion, we should be eyeing some narratives, because we know that price is determined by markets solely, right? Determined by buy and sell pressure. It's not determined by news. News can drive price, but price is derived from buy and sell orders. Okay, so most of the time, news it is not news. It's a narrative. What is a narrative? It's what people think is propelling the price someplace, right? So the narrative, in my opinion, in the next alt season, which is this autumn, might be Ethereum 2.0, meaning the merge. How should we play the merge? So in my opinion, we don't really know when the merge is going to happen, but they've given us some estimate dates. It may happen in August. That's the first possible time. The second possible time is November. So if it doesn't happen this year, it will happen in the future eventually, but we don't know exactly when. So how do we play this narrative? I think if we get to August and the price starts to pump, people will automatically play into the narrative game of the merge is going to happen. We're getting Ethereum 2.0, Ethereum update. Yay, let's go. Proof of stake. So what coins should we buy? Obviously the obvious one is Ethereum, so that's why I think Ethereum in the next couple months from August, September onwards, we'll see Ethereum go a bit stronger than Bitcoin. Okay, and what other coins should we buy? Well, Ethereum staking pools. That's my short answer. Maybe if you don't want to just buy Ethereum, maybe you would want to buy RPL. RPL is Rocket Pool. It's an Ethereum staking service, because to set up a staking node on Ethereum 2.0 on the Beacon chain can be very tricky. So RPL is basically a one-click staking service. Yeah. And the other one is LDO, Lido token. So these two are we should look out for. So what else? Oh, so the back to the main theme of talk today, market mindset. What Luna did to the markets? Well, a short answer would be Luna made the crypto markets go back by 1 or 2 years. What does that mean? In my opinion, Luna being such a big coin with so much capital within it, it just went to zero, and it's calculated that 55 billion US dollars was lost, and over 100 people have committed suicide due to Luna's destruction. Okay, because it's not only the Luna token, right? There's also UST, the stable coin. The stable coin printed out of thin air, right? It's basically at zero now. It's gone down 90%. People had their life savings in this thing. People had their life savings in UST, doing yield farming on Anchor, making 20% of the stablecoin. They did make 20% of the stablecoin, but the stablecoin went down 90%. So that's no good, is it? So what does this mean? It has caused tremendous losses around the globe, and I believe we'll see a ton of regulation come from the countries affected, especially from Korea. Korea has a huge crypto market, and generally, Korean traders have quite a lot of money to throw around. So, what would that mean if they regulate Korean crypto exchanges, Korean crypto projects? We may see that have a negative effect on the markets in the midterm. Where else? I think Korea was affected the most by Luna, but elsewhere around the world, many people have lost their life savings. Even VCs, even funds blew up due to the Luna catastrophe. So the short answer is Luna has caused so much trouble that these countries, these governments, these regulators, they're going to look into crypto quicker. They're going to formulate regulations on crypto quicker. They're going to do their due diligence. That's good in the long term, but I think we're up for a lot of regulatory risk over the next 2 to 3 years. So my play would be when prices are high, look for signs, look for cues that some country is going to regulate crypto in some negative way, hindering its adoption. If we see any sort of that kind of news come out, I think it would be the time to short the markets. Sorry, I have a bit of tonsillitis, doing too many COVID tests these days, and a lot of chart watching, market watching. So I think we'll end this stream at 45 minutes or 50 minutes today because I'm really not feeling so well. I hope everyone's staying healthy. I'm staying healthy too, obviously, with my STEPN app. I love it. So right now I have you can see there I have a rare jogger. Yeah. I have a rare jogger, level 30 jogger with 2 massive luck gems and 2 efficiency gems. So I'm making good dough there. And so basically I'm running maybe 10 to 20 kilometers a day, doing a lot of running these days, making the dosh there, and trading the markets. So what am I trading these days? I'm trading mainly Ethereum. Why do I trade Ethereum? Because I got into crypto trading Ethereum. So I'm more familiar with its market dynamics. So this is a chart we posted this morning on my Twitter. You must give my Twitter a follow, by the way. Let's go to my Twitter. Let's have a look. Give this bad boy a follow. Come on, guys, give it a follow. Oh my god, I sound so stupid. But yeah, happy times. So this was our chart this morning. I pointed out that there's this rising triangle with a trend line, and the third touch of the trend line, it broke down. And then it climbed back up. So this is what we call a false breakout. A false breakdown usually results in the price going up, because a lot of people sold or shorted there, giving the upward trend some momentum and liquidity, because these people are more inclined to close their shorts, which is a market buy order, causing the prices to go up. So in my opinion, we'll see prices go to maybe 2,200 and drop. Why? Because right now, we've not double tapped this bottom. That sounds a bit naughty, but you know what I mean. This this bottom here at 1,760. This is the Bitfinex chart. But if you have a look at a Huobi chart, let's have a look at a Huobi chart, ETH USDT, ETH USDT. It's over here. This one. So if you look at this chart, we didn't get that low. Why is that? We only got to 1,789, not 1,760, because this is the USDT chart. And miraculously, on that drop down, USDT momentarily, due to the Luna UST fiasco, people started FUDing USDT, causing USDT to temporarily depeg from $1. It went to like 0.97. So it lost 3% of its value momentarily, which caused a lot of these prices to not drop to my projected target. So what does this mean? This really affected the markets, because I didn't get to buy in. I had my buy orders at 1750, right? But I didn't buy in there. I bought in after it bounced at 1,800. So what this means is a lot of people who were going to be liquidated below 1,789, they didn't get liquidated. They were spared. They survived due to this miraculous event. So these people who have held their longs maybe from 2,300 survived the drop, and now they're happy. They're singing, right? Look, we just barely survived the drop. I almost lost all my money. What am I gonna do now? I'm gonna leverage up, right? So what people who bought here, if they bought, no, okay, so if people bought at 2,300 and they didn't get liquidated at the bottom, they would be really happy at this price, right? At 2,100, they think they're safe. It's still quite a ways away from 1,700, their liquidation price. So they feel it's quite safe, and they'll think, oh, look, this is a double bottom, and we're gonna like go up to the moon. So a lot of people will be adding to their long position in this price range, and once the prices go above this line here, people will add in more positions. They'll buy more because they want to make money on this way up. But in the meantime, their leverage is getting higher. Their liquidation price has risen. So there forms a pocket of liquidity here between 1,700 and 1,800. This range here is a pocket of liquidity. So in my opinion, what we'll see here is the prices will pump momentarily above 2,150, above this green line, and kind of bounce around here a bit, and then we'll see a massive drop back down to the previous lows. Because if people are leveraged here, let's have a look at the percentage drop from here down to the bottom, maybe 1,750. That was our previous target. I still believe we're gonna go there. So if we drop from 2,150 or 2,200 to 1,750, that's a 20% drop, which means 5x leverage traders will be liquidated. If you open a 5x position at the top, you would be liquidated at the bottom at 1,750. That's how I determine this range, because a lot of the liquidity is futures driven. Okay. So that's my basic short-term analysis. And in my opinion, once we liquidate the 1,700 people will be really bearish at the bottom. I don't think we'll see a V-shaped bottom. We may see it like bounce around here a bit, maybe do this, and then climb back up. And once we climb back up, I think the next top will be around 2,300 to 2,400 range. So we may go like do something like this to here, and then once we get to there, the next cycle, the next short-term cycle will be from the 2,400 range to the 1,400 range. So we're going to see Ethereum drop quite low. In my opinion, that's going to be that's a big drop, isn't it? It's 40%. That will liquidate 3x leverage traders if they bought the top, right? And I think it will liquidate many 2x leverage traders if they decide to add to their position on the way down. Yeah. So that's basically the short and midterm analysis. And from the bottom 1,400, in my opinion, we'll see it bounce around a bit. And in August, September, September, October, November, December, we'll see the prices go up. Maybe not December. I think the top will be around November, because I think the Ethereum 2.0, the last date for this year would be November. So maybe November would be the narrative top, and that would cause prices to go down a bit. And next year, I'm not so bullish. Next year, I'm looking at Bitcoin going down to 10K, going down to 9K, possibly even 6K. So now, if we talk about Ethereum, that would be a drop from the 3,000s. I think the top of Ethereum this year will be around 3,600. We'll drop from 3,600 all the way down to 500 or so. Yes. Let's have a look at some other markets. MakerDAO doing okay. We posted this chart on our Twitter. You must give our Twitter a follow because we post charts every day. Zcash is doing fine. Zcash has been very strong and is bouncing as expected. I believe we'll see Zcash top out this short term in the next few days at 120. That may be a good short position to open, to short it from 120 to $90 or $80. What else? Let's have a look. What's the price of UST? Oh, geez. It's below 0.1. That's terrible. It's going straight to 0, guys. Don't touch this shite. Solana is doing quite well. In my opinion, we'll go to maybe $60, drop down to 40, and then go to the moon again. $70, then drop down to maybe like $30. That will be the bottom. And $30, we may see a big rise to 150 to 155. Yeah, so that's Solana. What else? Let's just go over some tokens here. AVAX, AVAX, Avalanche. Let's have a look. In my opinion, we'll see a massive head and shoulders pattern to shake everyone out, and then we'll see the price rise. So the price rise, in my opinion, will bottom out at around $20 and go to, let's have a look. Let's have a look, because we predicted this drop at $100. We predicted it would drop to 33. It did. Right now we're at 35. and in my opinion, we could see the price pump up to, let's say, wait, let's move this line a bit. In my opinion, we should break through this line. If we break through this line, a lot of people will turn bullish, and that would cause a great bull trap. So maybe a pump to like $80. So that would be a 4x gain, similar to Solana. What other coins should we talk about? No. Okay. LDO. LDO is a bit of a new coin on exchanges, so it's quite hard to analyze. But I think we'll be able to analyze it sometime in July. Maybe we'll have more history. Yeah, we'll have more history in July. Let's have a look. Let's have a look how the other markets are doing. What's Ethereum at now? Well, 2,100. That's great. That's great news. That's great news. GMT. What is GMT gonna do? GMT, in my opinion, we're gonna see it bounce to maybe $2, drop to 1.3, and then go up to maybe $3. From $3, drop back to 1.4. We'll see it range in a triangle form, and then we'll see it go up, maybe following some GMT use cases in the game. Yeah, so how are we doing here? 42 minutes. So just to recap, guys, Bitcoin, we were looking at we'll look at the Bitfinex chart now. I think Bitcoin, we're gonna bottom out at 23k. Bottom out at 23k, go to 50k, and I think once we break through 32k, the price will go up very quickly, causing altcoins to drop, and I think we'll see alt season towards the end, towards October and November, and then I think it would be time to sell. I think I'll start selling above 40k. So let's have a look at exactly what kind of bounce this would be. I usually like to use the Fibonacci Retracement tool, and that would be from the 2020 lows to the highs, and this would be a fake out of the 0.618. We'll have a look at the log chart too. So the log chart shows us that we may drop to the 0.382 and then bounce. But if that's the case, we'll need another Fibonacci reversal. And this seems to be the 0.786. So in my opinion, 46 to 55k, that would be the top of this year. We'll see a big rise, get everyone bullish, and then crash much lower next year. So stay safe out there, guys. And yeah, so what does this mean for investors? Investors, in my opinion, make money out of crypto, make money in DAOs, and then pour money into crypto when the markets are bad. Don't go into crypto when all the markets are going up, right? If you want to chase the short-term gains, you'll lose the long-term gains. That's a fact of life. And I mean, if you want to trade, you need to have capital. But if you buy the top, you end up having no capital. So try not to buy the top, guys. Once prices go down, that's when you start turning bullish. Not once price is going up. Okay, once price is going up, it's usually the end, especially in a bear market. So that's pretty much my mindset for this market. Especially in the next 2 months, we'll see a ranging market, which means every time the price is high, everyone's going to turn bullish. Every time the price is low, everyone's going to turn bearish. And you have to be the enemy of everyone, because people are going to give you shit for being a bear at the top, right? Once prices bounce, people are bullish. So if you break their dreams, if you take their souls saying the price will drop, it's almost a direct attack on them. So they're not happy. If you wind people up by saying it's gonna go down, when it bounces, that's usually when it actually reverses and goes down. And once things go down, people don't believe it will rise back up. So you need to also have a look in all different groups. In groups bigger than 2,000 people, 20,000 people, what is the market sentiment in retail traders? If retail traders are really bearish, usually that's the time when a reversal might happen. So that is my market mindset, and that's all for today. Thank you, and we'll see you next. I'll see you on Thursday. Yes, see you on Thursday. Bye bye. Give my Twitter a follow. Crypto's Lao Wai. And thank you, Huobi team, for setting this up for me. It has been a great journey, and we'll see you on Thursday. Bye bye.